Folks, it's not the end of the millennium, but he's not here. It's Alex and it's Matt. It's the Triple Threat Podcast. Double threat, dual threat, anyway, is gonna be good. It won't be not good. Hit the music. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Triple Threat Podcast. My name is Matt. With me this week only, Alex Vaughn is here. Alex, how you doing?
Hey, good. By the way, when you say with me this week only, it makes it sound like I'm here with you only for this 1 week.
1 week only, Alex.
1 week only. You better get your tickets. But I guess the performance is already going on right now as we speak, so it's too late for tickets.
You know, I've always called you the McRib of this podcast.
The what?
The McRib.
The McRib here for a limited time?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, have you ever had a McRib?
I have had a McRib. I went to, I cannot remember the circumstances. I think I was in university, but I was at the McDonald's on Spring Garden Road. The McRib was a recent. McRib? Yeah, for sure. The McRib was newish out, and I was like, you know what? YOLO, McRib, let's do it. And it was fine.
It's not anything. It's not good, but it's not anything atrocious. But you'd also probably never crave one or want one again.
No, I do. I'm sure there's a McRib fan page on Facebook, and I would never want to meet the moderator.
I'm sure there's a McRib subreddit. I'm sure there's a McRib everything.
I feel like the McRib subreddit would be a good place to like plan an illegal heist or something.
Okay,
because no one would be there. No one would think anything about it. The topics are just like, I like the onions on it, and there's 50 comments, and it's all about knocking over.
Are there legal heists?
That is a good question. That's a really good question.
Inherently illegal. That was a question of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
In my new movie, Inherent Heist.
The Inherent Heist.
Inherent Heist.
Yeah. So Will's not here, or the Millennium's not here, which would be Will Smith.
It sounded like you were saying Will. Like you're trying to get his attention. No, he's absent.
He is. Yeah, that's how I knew, because I said Will. Usually he goes, "Yep, what's up?" But this time I didn't hear you.
Yep, what's up? Here's 10 things.
Yeah,
5 of which are wrestling.
He has an annual Pro Bowl party that he goes to every year. Never misses the Pro Bowl party. And feeling a little bit under the weather this morning. No, we say under the weather. Okay, we don't say hungover.
Sorry,
that implies that
it's polite euphemism.
Alcohol. Maybe he had too much. Greco donair pizza with donair meat stuffed in the crust.
See, that would be good.
Alex, I had that this weekend. It was fun.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Greco?
Yeah.
That's awesome. The life you live, Alex.
The life I live a pretty insane life, yeah.
I don't know if it's glamorous or just, I don't know, it's good. I was watching the little bit of the NHL All-Star game. I don't know if you can call it the All-Star game. It's an All-Star tournament.
You call it an All-Star.
3-on-3.
They still refer to it as the All-Star game.
Yeah, and as I'm watching one of the games, like 9-6 or something like that. And this is not an original idea, I don't think, but I said, what if after every goal, the team that scores has to take a shot
of alcohol?
Yeah, just line them up there, right by the bench.
I think that's promoting excessive alcohol consumption.
I know, but when it's 8 goals for you, including the goal, then I think you're gonna have a much more even game.
Right, evener, that works too.
Evener. But then if you score a couple goals in a row, then it's bad news.
So, for example, if you're playing NFL Blitz and you're down 100 to 3, and the computer has done like 16 shots.
Yeah, they're absolutely out of their mind at that point. Yeah, that's exactly what it would be.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not... no, sorry, it is a really bad idea. I don't know why you thought of it. Good one to play with your friends if you're of age. And
I could see that being like
safely, keeping fit and having fun and all that stuff. I don't think
that could see that getting some traction at a bachelor party.
Well, I don't have any bachelor parties coming up personally, so...
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't intend to marry anytime soon.
Anytime soon. That's fine. I was like, oh, we got very personal there.
Anytime, yeah, you know. But just adding anytime soon suddenly it's impersonal. It doesn't mean not as important.
That's true. Alex, do you want to grieve? Do you want to talk about the past season at all?
Yeah. So
where are you with that?
You know, last Monday we didn't talk about it was too painful to talk about the AFC Championship game that the New England Patriots were favored to win. I think. I
thought they weren't favored to win. At least on Vegas odds, they were not favored.
Okay, for a while they were favored.
Yeah.
And it's very rare for the road team to be favored for any amount of time during in the AFC Championship game or NFC Championship game.
Right.
and then they ended up failing to win. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. I don't know. I think Bruce Arians said something like, unless you end the season with a ring on your finger, it's a disappointing season, right? Which is typically how it goes. But, 5 AFC championship games in a row, and I think we're 2 for 3, and then only 1 Super Bowl out of those. So it's a sure sign of success. When you don't win, you're no better than the rest of them. But we get a good first round pick.
Oh gosh! You know what though? The other
Are there
thing
just
too,
31 picks then in the first round this year?
The
Pats lose it, but
it's not like the NFL just gets it and picks somebody to play in the office with Goodell. That'd be great. They just pick some tackle from somewhere and now you work for the NFL.
And we've discussed that on and now you're just helping. You're Roger Goodell's gopher.
Alamar Johnson, Alabama. You don't have to say that every time you're taking notes at a meeting, Alamar. It's fine.
What's his name? Alamar Johnson?
Alamar Johnson.
From Alabama.
He went, he's originally from San Diego, but he was recruited.
Oh, he was recruited.
Same Rodeo.
No, I know how.
To be Goodell, Goodell gives him a black and gold NFL hat that you would get at, say, some sort of NFL Canada party.
So the New England Patriots, who have not had any proof against them that they actually purposely deflated footballs, get fined $1 million, lost a first-round pick, and I think a fifth-round pick or something like that, and then something else. So
Bob Kraft got hosed. I think that's what it is, man. Bob Kraft thought he was like, you know what, we probably did something wrong. So let's just get this out of the way.
See, some people, and when I say some people, obviously I mean Bill Simmons, thinks that there was a handshake deal under the table that says, hey, you know what? If we can just kind of, not sweep this under the rug, but settle this up, we'll admit to some wrongdoing, even though you don't have proof of it, and we'll take whatever punishment you have, and that'll be the end of it. And Goodell was like, and then didn't. So.
Yeah, and I mean, as you can recall, of course, the Deflategate, very not an issue recently at all. Totally swept under the rug, not brought up.
Very not an issue recently at all.
Yes, very, and I think I put that as well as it could ever be.
So,
Can I want to touch on something?
Yeah, we can talk about the games. We'll talk about the AFC and NFC championship games specifically. But touch on it.
When you're talking about not getting to the game, not winning the game, not winning the last game of the season, the Super Bowl, it's very painful, like you said. And I was watching. Very briefly, just the NFL Films is like the recap of the Super Bowls.
Oh yeah, they do all. I think over the weekend between between Saturday and Sunday, they did all 49 in a row.
Yeah. Which is, I feel like you can just turn that on and really just enjoy it, unless it's just a total blowout. But
you usually get like commentary and stuff like that. So
it's still worth it, I think, in the end. I'm watching. So we're just gonna turn it on. It's before supper, and it's Super Bowl. Let me see if we can do that. 45. Sorry. XLV. The extra
45.
large.
All right, so that's the Green Bay Packers against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So that game seems a pretty decent game generally. But, I mean, it looks like the Packers kind of had it most of the time.
Like 36-27 or something?
31-25. Steelers went for it. To get a 2-point conversion, to get within 3, and they totally did. And at the end, so the Steelers lose the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it just in the back, it's shoot, I hate this. What's the coach of the Steelers?
Oh, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. I was confusing. Mike Tomlin and Tom Coughlin were kind of floating in my mind.
Tom Coughlin, yeah.
But so Mike Tomlin, so one of the guys came up and he's like, man, like one of the players like, sorry we couldn't win that one for you. And Tomlin just says, hey, that's life. Like, as if it was no big deal, they just lost the Super Bowl. It was really, and he was convincing. It was weird.
Yeah, because I think you need to have that attitude. Like, it's got to be everything you go for, and then you have to kind of shake it off. So you're not, I don't know. At least he doesn't, like, that's there's specific games, I guess, specifically the Super Bowl or ones like that are closer, and therefore you can really pinpoint a decision or something or other that makes the difference. So, for instance, last year, Super Bowl 49, Pete Carroll's decision to go for it on 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line and throw it, and a pass was ultimately intercepted. I think it's a little bit harder to put that specific moment behind you versus like a whole game where you never really had the lead.
Yeah, where it's just like you know what, we tried to get to Rodgers and we really couldn't do enough to get out of his way. You can't really pinpoint that.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you look at Super Bowl, whatever the first one is, 19? No, 22. It doesn't matter. The first one that the Bills lost against the Giants, the first of four they lost, and Scott Norwood, misses the field goal at the end that would have won the game. Like little stuff like that, are just like, well, that's the moment. That's the exact moment there. So
yeah. And I was telling you off podcast, I think last week, I was saying how I watched The Four Falls of Buffalo, that documentary ESPN put out about
we were talking about that on the way to the AFC Championship game.
To the AFC Championship.
And by the way, we weren't on the way to watch the AFC Championship game on the television.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I was saying, and it's one of those things. It's like, like it's that moment. It's that period of time where it's like, the Bills were in the Super Bowl 4 years and they lost every single one of them.
Yep.
But you watch the movie to get the context, which is like you really like the last two were against a real insanely good Cowboys teams. They probably had no chance of winning. But that first one, you think like, oh, the guy kicked a field goal and it was wide right and he totally blew it. But it's like it wasn't ideal circumstances either. It wasn't like it wasn't a chip shot.
No, it
wasn't like the Vikings game a couple weeks ago.
44-yarder, which back then, now you have kickers who hit it from 50 yards consistently. They sometimes miss extra points, but that's fine. But they hit, 50-yarders, something like that, say 60, 70% accuracy. But anything within over 40 on an actual grass field in those conditions, that was just at the total length, the maximum of what he could hit, and he just ended up losing some accuracy to gain some power on it. So
yeah, like a 47-yard field goal attempt in 91 is not by any means guaranteed.
No,
not even a little bit. That's not the kicking game has just gotten so much better.
Yeah,
it's just not close.
And then so this Super Bowl, it's going to be interesting. Peyton Manning, after the Denver Broncos defeated the New England Patriots, was mic'd up, and you could hear him talk to Bill Belichick, and he said, "Hey, just so you know, this might be my last rodeo."
Classic Peyton thing to say.
Yeah, it's such a Peyton thing to say. So we'll see what happens with that.
Alex, does Peyton's last rodeo end with him atop a steed, with his head held high, or is it him on the ground with circus rodeo clowns trying to get the bull away from him?
Okay, so let's look. Let's take this by looking back at kind of the AFC Championship game and NFC Championship games and kind of the difference between the two. Yeah. For Peyton, other than the first drive of the game, which was just down the field, 83 yards, touchdown. Other than that, the only one they scored a touchdown on was from, I think, the 14-yard line off of Von Miller's interception. So the offense didn't move the ball very well against the Patriots. The Carolina Panthers have a better defense than the Patriots have.
Yeah.
Subsequently, the Carolina Panthers set a record in the NFC Championship game for most points scored and absolutely manhandled the Arizona Cardinals. The biggest thing in the AFC Championship game was the Pats' offensive line, and by biggest thing, I mean the most non-existent thing, and therefore the most troublesome thing was the Pats' offensive line. And Brady took 23 hits in the game, which was the most out of any quarterback in any game all year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, not very good. So I will say no. I will say that it is not meant to be for Manning, or I would guess that it's not meant to be for Manning in terms of the odds are stacked against him. Cam Newton's just playing out of his mind, and the team that seems to have it is the Panthers. But we haven't really played the game. I do worry about what happened last year. At Super Bowl 48. 48? Yeah, where the Seahawks manhandled the same Denver Broncos. So we'll see what happens there. Your thoughts on the game, Matt? The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
After I talked far too long.
That's so good. Cam Newton is so much fun to watch, and I'm sad that I didn't get to watch more NFC games because he's having a lot of fun. It's good to see that. He's a great player. He's really athletic. It's a good team. Like Panthers, I think are hard to dislike. They're just a good team, and
I can dislike the Panthers real good.
Because when it comes down to it, I feel like Denver and Carolina's defenses are pretty close, right? Are they not? They're close, to like 1 and 2 in the league. I think
so. Yeah, I think it's the top two defenses in the league.
So if you want to oversimplify things, it's the defense cancel each other out, and if you look at who's got the offensive edge, it's it's Carolina by a mile. Really, truly by a mile.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Peyton's stats over the season, I think it's 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. So he came back in the last game of the season, kind of halfway through, or the second last game of the season, I can't remember, and they ended up kind of making a bit of a difference there. But really not having to push the ball downfield too much, really not having to win a game on his own. So if they get down at any point, he's going to start having to throw the ball. I think that's when you're going to see trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what got them in Super Bowl 48. As soon as they went down, and he's got to sling the ball. And that year he had 55 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions. So it's just a completely different animal at this point. So we'll see what happens. I mean, weather's not going to be a concern. Anything cold weather isn't good for him, which makes a difference because the last Super Bowl he played in was in New York, but it wasn't that cold that day. So
yeah,
I don't know. It seems like right now it's the Panthers' game to lose, but I mean, you start playing the game and anything could happen.
There's definitely I would not be shocked if the Broncos won. There's definitely a chance they win, no doubt. But again, I think if Peyton throws one interception, the game's over.
And that's what the Pats needed. They really needed some more turnovers and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions. I mean, that Pats game felt like a loss the whole way because I don't think they ever had the lead. But they took it to the last possible friggin' second to not win. I mean, a 4th and 10, and then a 4th down touchdown, and then they missed a 2-point conversion. Those are unlikely plays, so you're only going to hit. To hit all 3 is near impossible. To hit 2 out of 3 was hard enough. So,
yeah, I feel like I kind of feel like we've been losing the AFC Championship game for the last 7 weeks.
Just the way the team's been.
Oh, it's been bad. We struggled through injuries all season, and that was okay. We would pull out games, and it was good. We were 10-0 for a while, or not for a while, for a week. That's how being 10-0 works.
Yes, we were undefeated for 10 weeks.
Yeah. And then it was just it just wasn't happening. It wasn't gonna work. You could see us you could see a situation where the Patriots gut out something, but they just didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, and it's so disappointing looking back at the Jets games and the Dolphins game and the Eagles games and even games that were close, even games that we won. It was ugh.
Yeah,
painful.
And they were not pretty. I mean, if we won I guess injuries were a problem, obviously, because I mean, as much as you want to. We lost Edelman and Amendola and Gronk for a bit, and then Solder on the offensive line. So I just don't feel like we lost. We didn't go into the Denver game be the offensive line is absolutely hazardous. It wasn't good, but it wasn't. The main concern was kind of well, if Edelman stays healthy, that should give Brady less time or whatever. What did I just do there?
That was a computer problem, Sal?
No, I just dragged something. I bobbed when I should have weaved. I bobed when I should have woved. Yeah, so I don't know. Just that's a rough game to lose.
Yeah, that's
never an easy game to lose. I guess you lose playoff games. It's one thing, unless you're down the whole way. But when you have a chance the whole time, and you just don't pull it out at the end. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah,
the defense was good. The defense is very good. So
yeah, and then we have some time to be extra bitter at the NFL about our lack of pick, and then I don't know. I guess we move on. See what Belichick does to move at the draft.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was called in the radio station I think on Wednesday, and he was already at down in Alabama at the Senior Bowl doing his scouting. So no days off. It's either okay, we'll book this flight and go to the Super Bowl, or we'll book a flight to the Senior Bowl and start prepping for next year. And there's literally no time off. It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of prep in Alabama, I remember there was a GQ article about Nick Saban that came out a while ago. I don't remember if it was this year or last year, a couple years ago. But essentially, he was complaining about it after they won the national championship because they had to prep for the game. He didn't have as much time to try
recruit.
Recruit.
Yeah.
So he's complaining after winning a national championship about not being able to recruit. I was like, "Are you kidding me, man?"
That's how it goes, I guess. If you're still playing the season and everyone else has moved on, they have a 3-week head start on you. It's just when you don't replace your head coach right away and everyone else starts filling the vacancies, you start being like, okay, well, there's not nearly as many guys here. Or if you're coaching a team that is going far in the playoffs, that lessens your chance of getting a head coaching job later on. So
yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Here's one question for you about the Super Bowl. Gary Kubiak. That's my question. Is he a Super Bowl winning coach?
Yeah,
Gary Kubiak.
That's a good question.
The guy had a heart attack right in the middle of the field one time. I mean, come on. He can't handle the pressure of that.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's getting even more excited with Coldplay there.
Coldplay, apparently Bianca's going to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Bianca's going to be there.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. Kind of. I mean, come on.
Like, and there's going to be. There's always like a surprise guest. Last year it was. I always want to call her Queen Latifah, but Missy Elliott.
I was going to say Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige. Yeah,
oh man, that's not good.
That was bad. Let's cut that part out.
Yeah.
And then Leon. Lenny Kravitz, I think, was there saying California Girls are like really kind of just absolutely.
Oh, for like himself. 1 second.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, yeah, it was bad news.
But, it gave us Left Shark. And really, I know having said that, 372 days ago, it wouldn't have made any sense. And now we all know what I mean when we say Left Shark. It just becomes part of the canon. My friend was Left Shark for Christmas. For Christmas. For Halloween.
I would give your friend a lot more credit if they were Left Shark for Christmas.
Yeah.
That takes guts, man.
There
should be a Left Shark and emoji. I think that would be
to be the actual Left Shark. I remember after that, someone wrote an article like from the perspective of the Left Shark, but just like totally like it wasn't even like, oh, that really sucked. It was more like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, we're prepping this, and like it just ends up being kind of hilarious because it's kind of a diary that's like the whole build up to it, and then like the Super Bowl happens. He's like, I think that went okay. I was a little behind on everything there, so I don't know. It's really good.
I mean, could the guy in the left or girl in the Left Shark costume even lose? You're still a shark. I mean, it's
plus no one knows who you are. I mean, yeah. I don't think that person has ever been outed as a person, not that it would make a difference. But if there's people. I don't know. So you'd just be like, I was in a shark costume at the Super Bowl. And you're like, which one were you? You'd be like, obviously I was the one who didn't screw up. Otherwise, why would I tell you the story?
I feel like it's got to be a couple of Katy Perry backup dancers, right? That seems the most likely.
One preview. Yeah, let's do Katy Perry removed from her employ shortly after the Super Bowl.
Could you imagine just an in-depth, just like look at it? Like we tried to, hunt her down. Be like, why'd you get rid of this person?
Like he was a shark.
He was Left Shark.
So the one good thing, and this isn't. Here's how it goes for me being a pretty diehard Patriots
it's
fan.
So funny to hear you're struggling so much with this, Alex.
Leading up to the Super Bowl, if the Pats are in it, it's just 2 weeks of like absolutely not being able to concentrate on anything else.
Yeah.
And then watching the game, like watching the Ravens AFC divisional game last year and the Super Bowl last year, they're like the instant classic games, and you're like, it didn't feel that way to me. I was stressed out the whole time. I didn't have time to recognize the classicness of it because I was too stressed out. You're just too one-sided. You're only looking at one half of the game. It's what your team's done right or done wrong or how badly the rest have screwed you. That's all it is. So to have a classic game. So if this one ends up being all you want now is to have a good game, and it didn't happen the last time the Pats weren't in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess so. Alex, why don't we we'll move on from football. Yeah. Everybody who doesn't like football, I hope some of that made sense or you enjoyed some of that. Maybe just like our voices. That could be interesting.
I don't like my voice, so I don't know why anyone else would like the sound of it.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I don't think yours is especially egregious, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Thank you. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I don't find your voice especially egregious.
I feel bad for podcasts I listen to, and I'm like, God, I can't do this. Can't do with this guy's voice. Content's fine. Otherwise, this person's voice, and it wasn't even just like it wasn't even an obvious like a nasally voice or anything like that. It was just kind of like, I'm just gonna talk like this. Like it was kind of like,
what podcast was it?
Oh, I don't want to say.
Oh, interesting. Is it ours? Is it me? Is it my voice?
No, it's not. Okay. The person is smart and well liked, and it was just one of those things where I'm just like, I feel like you were better off not having a podcast. Maybe that's how people feel about me.
Interesting.
I'm gonna move on.
So curious.
That's okay.
I'm not gonna pry on it. You're gonna have to tell me off air though.
Sure. Anyone who wants to know, just check me on Twitter. I'll tell you.
What? If anything, more people would see it on Twitter than when you hear this podcast.
Hey man, just trying to drive the traffic, bro. What can I do? It's a stunt.
Okay. I don't
at
think
MP
you know
Vaughn
how
on Twitter.
That works actually.
Well, you'd be surprised
about your awareness of how certain things work and don't work.
I just like you'd be surprised as an expression.
Okay, without any
type strong expression. Yeah, because it's one of those things where like, this person's strangely confident.
It's like Abed or Abed in
thanks,
Abed the Arab. It's like Abed in Community, where he's like, "But I can explain," and everyone stops. He's like, "Oh, I thought you guys would keep talking over me. I didn't have."
Okay, I can explain.
Yeah. Okay, I can explain. Yeah, so that's I think we both think that the Panthers are going to win the Super Bowl, but
I was trying to move off of that, Alex.
Yes, I know. I'm closing it off there. So
yes, okay,
hopefully it's a good game.
Alex, there we go.
One more thing.
Puts the bow on it. Yeah, oh gosh.
And the Royal Rumble was last week. That was interesting.
Yeah. It was last week. Triple H won the title. Good for him.
Wow.
Finally gets.
I'm glad you recapped it, not Will. Just Triple H won. Okay.
Boom.
Any other questions?
I don't think we have a whole lot to get to there. Alex, before I told you off air, I was excited. I saw a movie that's coming out that I don't think you knew existed, but I think you will be excited for.
Okay.
But before I tell you about that, I want to tell you about Squarespace. No, sorry. It sounded like an ad read. I could do it. I'll tell you about a Napoli pizza. Folks, if you're in Cole Harbor. No, I was looking at...
I was like, did you have that last night or something? I was very confused.
I wish.
I'm just kidding. It took too long. I had to leave. It was very upsetting to me.
That's all good. I said I wish. I had a great supper last night. I just want to make that just crystal clear.
Yeah, I don't care.
Thinking about movies, because that's what I turn my attention to. Sports goes away. A month from this, I guess Friday. Anyway,
boy, I'm already confused.
That's okay. The first week of March. I want to tell you the movies that are coming out. Try to hold on to your pants for this one. There's a movie coming out called...
Never try to hold on to my pants ever after
Alex,
now.
Hold on to your pants, buddy. There's
hold on to your butts.
Called Desierto. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Probably not.
It is by Jonas Cuarón. It's a Mexican thriller. It's got your Gael Garcia Bernal and your Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think that looks good. There is London Has Fallen, the sequel to Olympus Has Fallen.
Okay, yes. I did not know that was a thing. There's literally a sequel to Olympus Has Fallen with Gerard Butler playing the same character.
Ludicrous.
When has Gerard Butler ever been in a good movie, honestly?
I don't know. I think his version of a good movie. Yeah, his good version of a good movie would just be A Paycheck.
The Ugly Truth.
Hey, he wasn't he a fan of the opera? Kind of like that.
Oh, like the 2004 version?
Yeah,
with Emmy Rossum.
Yeah,
I think he played the Phantom. You're right.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, which is a journalist war comedy movie.
WTF? Why the face? Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
It's starring Tina Fey.
I saw that.
You saw that movie?
I saw the fact that she's portraying a person in that movie, and thus my curiosity was piqued. It doesn't take much for me to have my curiosity piqued.
Also, Unbreakable? No. Yeah, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. No, that's not right.
Well, she wrote it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the second season's coming out.
Oh, okay. Is there a trailer for it?
I don't know if there is, but she also got picked up for something for CBS. So everything's coming up. Tina.
Okay, so you went to I thought we were still going on movies.
That's
that are
okay.
coming out.
I'm keeping on here.
Okay.
Also coming out that week, Zootopia with that great sloth trailer
thing that kills me.
Also, Knight of Cups, Terrence Malick. Guys, if you want to see a movie, March 4th is going to be great for just about any kind of movie you want to see.
Guys, if you want to see a movie,
watch Squarespace.
What's Knight of Cups? KNH? KNH.
It is. It's Terrence Malick. Christian Bale plays a Hollywood screenwriter. The trailer is confusing and unclear, but I'm excited to see it. Wes Bentley is in it.
I think that's Terrence Malick to a T already. Terrence Malick, most recent movie, Tree of Life, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you actually are. It's the Ben Affleck and, what's that movie called? To the Wonder, I want to say?
Oh, yeah, I never heard of it.
To the Wonder. It was one that, he doesn't put out a movie for 20 years, and then he puts out 2 in 2 years. Oh, come on, man. Good for him.
Was it? Well, he did Thin Red Line before? That was his most recent?
I think it might have been.
Okay.
Tried watching Thin Red Line. Did not go well.
Have you ever watched Tree of Life?
I have. I own it. I really like Tree of Life.
Really good.
It's really good.
It's very different than you might expect from the trailer, but it's really good.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of mood or person you have to really like movies. I think to like that movie. I think it's part of it. You can't. It's not straightforward. It's not obvious. It's not quick. It's just good.
Can I spoil it? No, I won't spoil it.
Do you want to talk about dinosaurs or something?
Yes. When the dinosaurs show up, you're kind of like, okay, this isn't the movie I was expecting.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. Or I think
that's a huge sell for Tree of Life.
But you're right. I think as soon as the movie takes that turn, you're going to lose 70% of your audience, depending on what they're in there for. I remember I worked with the guy at the Herald, and he's like, the wife and I went to see it. We left 20 minutes in and wouldn't get our money back. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I won't watch it. And then I watched it, and I was like, that was incredible.
Oh, yeah. It's a movie that makes you feel, man. And it's not, and it's a movie that makes you feel not even just because of characters necessarily, just good. Terrence Malick, man. Sorry, one last Terrence Malick plug. Let me plug a movie from Terrence Malick that's like, at this point, like 40 years old.
Okay.
Which is with Martin Sheen. And I can't remember her name. Sissy Spacek? Badlands.
Yeah, Badlands.
Badlands.
Yep.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, it's it's worth it. It's so good. It's like it's made in the 70s. It looks beautiful. It's set in like the 30s or whatever. It takes place in the Midwest. It's just it's good, man. Freaking good.
I confuse the title with The Killing Fields, which is like nothing even closely similar. But like The Killing Fields, Badlands are similar in title. So
they're definitely
not the same movie.
Oh wow,
quite different.
Look up the poster for Killing Fields, and then look at the poster for Badlands.
Okay, are they similar?
Just look them up, folks. I encourage you at home to do the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully on. Do you see it?
Yeah, they're basically
practically.
They're very similar. Yeah, they're very very similar. I feel less bad about it, but man, Sam Waterston when he's young is younger looking. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, so
good
movie. I should check it out sometime.
Yeah, and there are lots of good movies coming out there. I want to tell you about this movie I found.
Right.
That I think I hope you will like. I found it. I mean, someone else made it and everything like that.
Yes. Okay.
I think it's like this movie could truly go either way.
Okay.
Because I could definitely see this movie being bad, especially because it's coming out in February. But
that's never a good sign.
I know. The movie's called 999.
Okay.
It's coming out February 26th, so it's later this month.
Okay. It's our cousin Scott's birthday, February 26th.
That's right.
Yeah.
999, it's an upcoming American heist thriller. It's directed by the guy who did The Road, John Hillcoat.
Okay. It's an upcoming American heist thriller.
Heist thriller. That's
now,
right. Probably an illegal heist.
Have we changed our mind on whether heist is inherently illegal or illegal, or that has nothing to do with it?
I'm thinking there could be
this case is an illegal heist, we'll say.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like it could be a cookie heist.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you needed to kind of like trick your mom into like looking the other way, and then someone goes out and grabs a cookie through a cookie jar, trying to be quiet about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you the plot, and then like it's not going to be the whole thing, but. I'm going to tell you the plot, and then I'm going to tell you the cast. So the film follows a group of criminals and corrupt cops who find themselves in serious trouble. They're getting blackmailed by the Russian mafia. The only way to deal with them is to perform an extremely challenging heist. It seems like it should be impossible, but they hatch a plan, which is on one side of town, half the crew will plan to kill a rookie cop, and while the police deal with that on the other side of town, which would be a 999 call, an officer down call, the other half of corrupt cops will do the job.
Okay.
This is the cast.
Okay.
That young cop, Casey Affleck.
Okay.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Right.
Anthony Mackie.
Right.
Aaron Paul.
Right.
Norman Reedus.
Right.
Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
Kate Winslet. Michael K. Williams. And like Gal Gadot and some other people.
Like Omar Michael K? No.
Yeah.
Okay. It's weird because I'm just
Omar.
actually getting into... The Wire right now.
The Wire again.
Which I think I've seen the first season of The Wire like 3 times because I keep on like being like, all right, I got to rewatch it, and then like I don't get beyond that. 999.
This movie is one of those movies that unless I hear it's terrible, I think it's going to happen.
Unless it's terrible, I think it's good. Like you're going to see it.
I will see. Yeah, exactly. Because it just seems like one of those things. It's like, tell me that doesn't sound like that cast. Well, I knew once I saw Anthony Mackie, I was like, I think this is an easy sell.
Okay, so I will tell you, I think I have seen the trailer for this one because Aaron Paul shows up for it for like 2 seconds, and you're like, is that Aaron Paul? And then it turns out that you have to check IMDb, and you're like, that was Aaron Paul. Interesting. Okay.
Classic Aaron Paul.
Okay, so they're trying to like, okay. Yeah, it's the date. It's a release date that's the hard part.
Doesn't that suck that you're like, I know too much about... I know too much about how movies work.
I know that I shouldn't see movies that are released in February. I can see other things. I can see movies that came out in December and watch them in February. Mm-hmm. But other than that, no. Like I still haven't seen The Revenant yet, but it's February today. Wow.
Yeah,
February
January
1st.
Is gone.
January is no longer with us. R.I.P. January 2016. You'll never come again.
Yeah, and R.I.P. all the people who died in January 2016. Mm-hmm. Not just the famous ones, but also the non-famous.
Thank you. No one thought you were only talking about famous people until you specified that you weren't.
No, I feel like if I said that, people would think I'm talking about Snape.
You said
I'm talking about Ziggy
Stardust. All the
Stardust.
people who died.
I know, but all the people
Fry,
who died.
A lot of musicians went down, man.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Glenn Fry, nicest eagle. Just kidding.
Is he not a nice person?
Eagles were not nice people. Period.
Really?
Yeah,
I was not aware of this.
Kind of jackasses. If you ever watch a really good music documentary, is actually the history of the Eagles.
Okay,
I want to say I think it's on Netflix. Thought it was, but it's good. And as someone who grew up in a family where we listened to a
Hell
lot
Freezes
of Eagles,
Over.
Hell Freezes Over like a lot.
Yeah,
like it's like I still remember like the applause after certain songs. That's how much we've listened to them.
I remember how long the intro to Hotel California was. Like, there's just this like
eternal
4-minute guitar solo, and you're like, "What song is this?" And like some people start recognizing as it goes.
Well, because they kind of just mess around and they do like they hit this chord and everyone's like, "Yep,
that is the song I was hoping you would play," and the only song you could justify playing after that long of an intro.
Yeah, it's the only one you've earned at that point.
So the Eagles were not nice people. Interesting. They did not take it easy, if you will.
No, they did not. They took it hard.
Oh. Bob Henley just seems like a nice guy.
I know. He seems like it. He should be. I think Glenn Fry was more... I think he was a little bit more obviously not a nice dude.
Well, he was a bit more into the narcotics.
Yeah. I mean, that's always going to happen in that situation. Was there any band in the 70s that was just like, yep, neither of us touched the stuff?
That's a good question.
That's really hard to imagine.
It's like, was there a wrestler in the 80s that was on steroids? You're like, probably not.
It almost certainly.
I don't know why that's my comparison, but it's like
it's our frame of reference. I think
that
Will
is our
liked
frame of reference.
Will, if you liked what you just heard, let us know.
Was he going to honk his horn or something? How's he going to let us know?
Yeah. Well, the car. You know that car you own?
You know that horn you're always
honking? There's nothing wrong by that.
Whether or not you're in a car or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, 999.
I saw a tweet.
I don't know if it's just going to be like by default be the good movie of February, just because nothing else good. Gods of Egypt might be coming out, but
yeah, again, it's by the guy who did The Road and Lawless, which people liked. So he's got a decent.
Looks like like he should be an animated character if you look up John Hillcoat.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think he looks like an animated character that exists. Especially his IMDb picture, where he looks way like he looks like he has alopecia in his IMDb picture.
Oh gosh, he might.
No, he doesn't, because in the other pictures he has like a beard going.
Yeah, well, you can develop alopecia.
Can you?
Yep. Oh. Yeah, because if I'm looking through all his recent pictures. The guy 1,000% is up. Well, as recently as Lawless, he didn't have it though. Anyway, whatever. This isn't a science podcast.
All right, 999 could be good. My best friend Anthony Mackie's in it, and my girl Kate Winslet. So I mean, you already got me sold there.
It's an easy. Sorry, when you were talking about horns earlier, I thought of. I saw a tweet yesterday, and it was like.
It was the Daniel Radcliffe movie, Horns?
No, it was someone said it was like air horn sound, second air horn sound. I guess this isn't deodorant. They use the air horn sound.
What?
You know, like, do you know what an air horn looks like? It's like it's got like just a little horn on the end. It's like,
like a noise. So, like people...
So the idea was that the person blew the horn once in the armpit and then twice, and was like, I guess this isn't deodorant.
Oh, okay.
It works really well in text, and it's very hard to pull off verbally. And I tried it. You know, sometimes you don't.
I thought you just had like your Jake the Snake Roberts and Beyond the Mat moment where you're going on one thing and you're like, what is this, chocolate?
Gosh.
And you're like, whoa, that guy is no longer with us. I mean, he's in the room, but
shocking that he isn't. He is in fact still with us.
The Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
What is this movie? Einstein in Guanajuato.
It's actually Eisenstein. I made the same typo, and I was like, way more interested.
I can't read.
I also can't read. Alex, I'm going to read you the most recent Jake the Snake Robert tweet as of when we're recording. Let me see if I can make... This is without any context. OMG, wind in the desert means sand everywhere. 3 p.m. looks like 6 p.m. Darkness coming, but sand everywhere. Still love it here. Marty Janet is here. I think he might mean Marty Janetti. But it was not spelled that way. Yeah. Sorry, one more. All caps. Johnny Manziel, spelled wrong. How many times will you fall before you change? Waiting on you to reach out. Come on, man. At CBS Sports, at ESPN, at DDP Yoga, #4U.
What date was that sent?
That would have been Saturday. No, hold on. Yeah, Saturday, January 30th. Because there was that whole thing over the weekend of Manziel and Fort Worth and getting into things with the cops and his girlfriend. And,
no, I didn't see that at all.
It was a mess. I don't know. That guy's very close to being out of the league, I think.
I stopped, and this is going to sound bad because it's not meant to sound the way it sounds. But since, when I was in Europe, I wasn't really up to date on, television, so I didn't, watch any television or, pay attention to a lot of stuff. So, now that I came back, I kind of kept that habit going, and I missed a lot of stories.
Yeah, that's fair.
I opened this page, it's going to start talking. Okay, we're good. It's fine. God, I hate every site that has, first of all, it takes forever to load, and second of all, no one wants to hear if I click on an article, I don't expect it to be a video. I expect it to be able to read, and then you're ruining everything by having this automated autoplay video come up. It's awful. It's terrible.
Yeah. What do you do? If you have an article with a video,
I pause the video and I read the article, and I wish it didn't exist.
The worst is when the article turns out to be just the actual text of the narration of the video. I've seen that before,
I don't do those ones. And even still, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I like it on my phone, because you don't see it. It doesn't, you turn
on
autoplay stuff.
Yeah. I got to just one more shout out here. I know there's going to be some more good stuff coming this week, but Bill Barnwell's been crushing it.
Has he?
With his ESPN writing.
You know what? I was a little bit worried about him being able to keep up his writing, because he's now almost literally half the person he was at this point last year. I think he lost he wrote an article on Medium, which anyone should check out, even if you're not a fan of sports writing or anything like that, called "The Best Way to Lose 125 Pounds is to Gain 175" or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
I skimmed it.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad saying, because it was actually it's a personal article.
Yeah, no, it had nothing to do. But yeah, I mean, he was 336 pounds, and then he's less than that now. It's best way to lose. The easiest way to lose 125 pounds is, again, 175 pounds, which is kind of an interesting way to write it. But he just looks how old? In one picture, he looks like he's about 47, and then in the second picture where he's lost the weight, he looks like he's about a bald 30.
Yeah,
it's just that's what it can do. Crazy difference between the two pictures. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a very accurate way of describing that.
But he's a fantastic. Not to get too much into it, he's a fantastic sports writer.
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
Easily my favorite football writer. Not including Mike Reiss, just because he's a homer. Bill Barnwell is going to break down football the best way. Possible. Former Grantlander. No longer there.
I wish every team would have a Mike Reiss. I'm sure they kind of do.
Every team does have a Mike Reiss.
I know, but are they as good though?
Oh, in quality, probably not. But we might be a little biased. But I know that when he did writing before the Broncos game, there was a side by side or whatever it was, the Denver ESPN guy and Mike Reiss shared an article together talking about the thing. Bill Barnwell, what were you going to say about him?
Just he's everything he puts out, that usually comes out right before my lunch break, or when I take my lunch, which is perfect.
It's like he's writing for you specifically.
It's so true. And he's just here's something with lunch, and it's okay, I can do that. And I mean, I think it was one of the ones this week was it's kind of a listicle, but it was 10, the 10 moves Carolina made in the last X number of years to be a championship team.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to look at it, because you don't often look under the microscope of an NFC South team.
I don't ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I certainly don't.
No.
So to get into that, it's kind of oh, that's cool. It's just
one of the best articles they ever wrote, and it's kind of a homer thing, is here's why Bill Belichick is great at making trades at the NFL draft and kind of
really
breaking
good.
down. You see this pick for this pick, but when he breaks it down to then this pick became this person who was in the league for half a day before whatever. To kind of see the whole trickle down effect of every move he makes.
Yeah.
Which takes a lot of time, and I'm never going to do it, but he's very good at kind of summarizing everything and not even summarizing, expanding on everything and summarizing at the same time.
Yeah. In a way that is in depth enough to make you interested in it, but not too in depth that you're frightened off.
And he totally called the way the Pats were going to lose the AFC Championship game. He's here's the thing that's going to kill this team, and it's if any team can get pressure off a 4-man rush on the Pats, that's what beats them, and that's exactly what happened. To the letter what happened. You're that's kind of depressingly accurate.
Yeah, guy knows his stuff, man.
The guy does know his stuff, and I wish he kind of told the Pats beforehand. I mean, they have access to the articles.
They do. That's the problem. They could have looked.
I don't know.
Very well could have looked.
It's very upsetting. So,
I know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Alex, something that's potentially upsetting is whenever I say something like, "Hey, I saw a Coen Brothers movie."
Yes.
Because it usually leads to...
well, it's because, if I can... First of all, the Coen Brothers, one of the, what's the word? I can't say one of the best directing duos there is, but...
is there really another...
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to put it. Like, pretty much a lot of movies they put out are critically acclaimed. They are technically proficient directors and good writers. So there's always a little bit of excitement for me when their movies come out. My problem with you, Matt, is that you don't like the movie Fargo.
My problem with you...
really like The Big Lebowski that much. And the Coen Brothers did my favorite movie of all time, No Country for Old Men. What movie did you see?
I saw Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay. Because they do have a movie coming out, Hail Caesar.
This week. It was very good, well-timed by my part.
It's like you meant to do it.
It's almost like I was writing an article to promote them or something. Gosh. But yeah, so I saw Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I watched it with Emily, who is probably even less of a Coen Brothers fan, because as much as I was displeased with Fargo, she hated it.
That's such a good movie.
I think she took part of like the exaggerated Minnesota accents personally, being from near that area.
Well, then you watch Making a Murderer, and you're kind of like, ooh, those are kind of accurate.
It's really not that far off.
Oh, it's not.
It's shockingly close to that. Yeah. Don't get
strange.
Yeah. So Oh Brother, Where Art Thou on Netflix Canada.
Okay.
So worth a look.
On my DVD shelf too, if anyone doesn't have
there you
access
go.
to Netflix Canada.
Break into Alex's house or ask him. Either way. It really
I prefer the second one.
Just a fun movie, interesting movie. You look at it, that it's based on Homer's Odyssey, or kind of. I mean, based on it is kind of like...
It helps knowing it's based off Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because, they meet the blind man on the rail kind of right away. Very similar to the Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's sirens and everything.
It's got great names like Ulysses Everett, Pete Hogwallop, Delmar O'Donnell. How do you not love that?
It's a great movie.
It's got your John Goodman in there.
Yeah. Bible salesman.
Bible salesman with one eye.
With one eye, the side.
One working eye. I think he had another one, yeah. A lot of fun, good music too. Actually,
great music. Man of Constant Sorrow by the Soggy Bottom Boys. I think that was a soundtrack because back then people actually bought music. I think that was a soundtrack that did very well.
Yes, it did. Yeah, we were talking about this last night. Dad was a big fan.
Yes,
still is.
Yes,
loves the movie.
How you don't stop, right? Why would you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and they have quite a. Like a Tarantino movie, you'd recognize a Tarantino movie right away. They're kind of specific, but the Coen Brothers can kind of do, Fargo and then Oh Brother, Where Art Thou and No Country for Old Men. They're all, or even A Simple Man, and they're all very different movies. You wouldn't necessarily have the same director attached to each if you just had to guess.
In my
very
defense,
eclectic.
In my defense, by the way, I like True Grit and I liked Inside Llewyn Davis.
True Grit's really good. A random remake for them to do, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Another, one of those movies where Matt Damon just kind of shows up.
Yeah, and just brings it. And you're like, I guess he's in this movie.
Yeah. Dude can act. It's like he should do it professionally.
Did you know that at least, do one or both, Ethan Coen and Joel, the Coen brothers helped write Bridge of Spies?
I didn't know that.
That's crazy, right?
Ethan or Joel?
Both.
Okay.
That's odd, right?
I mean, there is another Ethan Coen, right?
Yeah, it's not. No.
And he wrote
Garfield.
Garfield.
Yeah, no, it's actually
which is why apparently Bill Murray did Garfield because he thought one of the Coen brothers wrote it.
Oh, it's so sad.
Don't know if that's true or not.
I
can't help.
He doesn't have an agent, right? He just has the hotline or whatever.
He just has the 1-800 number they have to call if you want him in your movie St. Vincent, for example.
Yes. Exactly. So yeah, I did like some of their movies. They wrote Bridge of Spies, which I'm gonna have to check out. Pretty decent director on that too.
Yeah, it's Stefan Spielberg. But again, so Hail Caesar's coming out, and I'm excited for it because it's a Coen Brothers movie. But that again falls into that February wasteland of could it actually be good, or do they just not have anywhere else to put it, or whatever it is.
It might have been one of those things they want to get out for the end of the year this year and couldn't do it.
I guess, but
sometimes
that's not a good sign. The fact that they don't really push to get that out for Oscar noms or anything like that. Tons of people in that movie. Clooney.
Another Clooney and the Coen brothers. That's good.
Yeah, Channing. Maybe I talked about this on the podcast. ScarJo's in it, and and all that. So we'll see what happens with that there. Oh, I finished Creativity Inc., by the way, the book that you had lent me.
So that's Ed Catmull wrote that one.
Ed Catmull, the head of Pixar. It was pretty good. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was good. It was a good move. It was a good book. It's funny reading that one right after the Steve Jobs books because they intersect in such an interesting way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The opinion of it, and he actually comes out at the very end of that book, not to spoil anything, but has this basically a chapter dedicated to Steve Jobs himself, which he kind of disparages the Walter Isaacson version. So we'll see.
I've heard a lot of blowback from the Walter Isaacson book, which is too bad because I thought it was really interesting and there's a lot of good stuff in it. But.
Well, it's funny because I'm reading another book now that kind of has an interesting take on the way we view history as a whole and how everything – like Walter Isaacson is writing history, but then at the same time he's writing present – because when he's writing it's, say, 2008, 9, 10 where he's actually talking to Steve Jobs and everyone else is kind of speaking from the perspective of Jobs having passed, which might frame his life a little differently in hindsight. And so it's kind of about – the book's kind of about but you can't really frame things popular from hindsight because your mind kind of plays tricks on you. It's a really good book. It's a very complicated book, but it kind of gave me a weird perspective of that.
Do you mind telling me what
it's called The Black Swan by Nassim Taleb, I want to say his name is. It's right in front of me. Yeah, Nassim Nicholas Taleb. And it's you would have a resolution to read at least one book a month. And so far I read 2 in January and I'm on to this one starting in February. So this one's a bit more dense than the other 2. So we'll see there.
If I'm looking at my first impression, judging a book by its cover, I get a Malcolm Gladwell-esque vibe.
Yeah,
yes. There's definitely
exactly that's the best way to describe it. Malcolm Gladwell-esque, and even coming more from a professional standpoint. The dude is smart. And
I'm looking at the Wikipedia article right now, and I'm getting a sense of it's definitely interesting. Definitely an interesting book.
Here, some of the praise for it's a book that altered modern thinking. The Black Swan changed my view of how the world works. But that's Daniel Kahneman said that he's a Nobel laureate, a masterpiece, idiosyncratically brilliant. It's an interesting book. Yeah, it's just basically about how we can't predict anything, and the title of the book is based on the fact that everyone in England thought all swans were white until they took over Australia and saw Black Swan, and how your frame of thinking you can only base the future off of your understanding of the past, and it really isn't how the world works as a whole.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's a really curious thing. I mean, I'm also impressed because obviously, the Natalie Portman movie was really well acclaimed, and so it's interesting to see. It's
based off that,
of course,
exactly.
Of course.
So there's this weird diatribe in the middle where this ballerina gets this whole thing. So it's a little confusing, but if you stick with it, it's worth it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I lend it to you, but I get it from the library. So.
Oh, that's all good. Okay, that means I can borrow from the library too.
Yeah, man. They have books there that you can just take for free.
Never got that business model. Never figured it out.
It is not profitable.
What are they doing?
It is not profitable at all.
I gotta recommend a movie I'm in the middle of seeing. Not in this moment, but I'm kind of
you do this. I never do this.
I mean,
how you do it.
This is something that I watched 90% of it. There's 20 minutes left, and I'm just kind of looking for another time to watch it. It's the documentary from the 70s, Pumping Iron.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, it's great.
I love Pumping Iron. It's such a great movie.
So Pumping Iron, it's about essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger and the pretenders to the throne.
Lou
Ferrigno,
yeah, in there, yeah.
The movie it's so worth it just for young, smart, manipulative Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
he's shocking. Watching that movie, it's he is such a confident person to behold.
He's a confident person to behold and knows exactly what to do to get to Lou and to get to kind of the rest of them. Lou specifically, I guess, but because that's
he really messes with him. It's delicious.
You got Franco Columbu, who's they just go to his hometown in Italy and he lifts a car and he can blow a hot water bottle and pop it.
Exactly. Hot water bottle is insane to me.
Yeah. That's on Netflix. I've probably seen that because it's on YouTube and things like that. So that's a movie I've probably seen 5 or 6 times. I want to say.
Yeah, it's not long either, and it's worth it just for the
theme song. It's great.
I was gonna say just for the somewhat vulgar monologue Arnold Schwarzenegger has at the beginning about pumping iron, which I won't spoil, but
don't even get into it. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. Oh God, yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Check
now something I didn't know. Franco Columbu actually plays the future Terminator from the original Terminator movie in '84.
Oh, does he? I wonder how he got that role.
Exactly. How'd that happen? Oh, I'm sorry. I think he shows up in Terminator 2. Actually, apologies.
That's all right.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Alex, we were kind of all over the map, but we got there.
Terminator 2, back in the habit.
Back in the gosh.
What was that, Sister Act?
I think it has to be.
Okay, yeah.
I think it has to be Sister Act.
I know my Sister Act.
Yeah, we think we kind of went from A to Z here.
But Matt, who directed Sister Act 2?
Penelope Spheris.
Is that really correct?
I doubt it, but it's a decent guess. It's the director of Wayne's World.
Wasn't it the dude from Commando? I don't know. What did he direct? The dude from Commando directed something.
Oh, it might have been.
No, it wasn't him. Looking it up. No, wait, hold on. Bill Duke? That sounds like the guy from Commando. Yeah, the bad guy from Commando directed Sister Act 2.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I saw.
We were just talking about this last week, and I was like, someone directed it, but okay.
Yes.
Anyway, I apologize.
Bill Duke, who I think gets hired for most of his movies just from his eyes.
No, I'm sorry.
He's sunk in insanely
Forrest Whitaker. You give him the Forrest Whitaker.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. All right. Yeah, we were all over the map, and you know what? How's that really any different than any other week?
That's true. Will we miss you? Get better soon. Just kidding. He was just busy.
Well, lay off the Pro Bowl. I mean, take it easy.
Yeah, exactly. Alex, Twitter.
Matthew. EVAUGHANICS, Evonix. That's me.
Beautiful. At MP Vaughn asked me who I didn't like that podcast guy. And
I'm going to find out very soon.
Thanks again for listening this week, guys. Hope you had fun.
Really appreciate your ears.
If you don't like football, don't listen to the first half. If you do, you should. If you don't like movies, don't listen to the second half.
Really late to be saying that. Really
I
late
know.
in the game to be mentioning what you should and shouldn't.
I'll cut it out. I'll put it at the beginning, and no one will even know. Be the wiser. None the wiser.
None the wiser.
Sixpence, none the wiser.
Kiss me.
All right. Well, we'll see you for. Well, we probably won't talk about the Super Bowl next week if I had to bet money.
Probably not.
So, you know what? If you want to hear about the Super Bowl, listen in 2 weeks, probably. Because before then, we'll talk about something else. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, lost. You lost me, but that's all right.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man. Have a good week.
Later, kids.
Good job by you, Ellie.
Good job by you, Billy.